Brian, I want to ask you specifically, what the hell is going on in WWE right now?
Hey man, come on, get it sexy. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Eh, Yo, we got Sexy Red showing up at NXT on Tuesday night.
And she might
Uh,
RKO somebody.
that's what she's saying. This was not on my bingo cards for 2024, but it's happening. Now, do y'all fellas all know who Sexy Red is?
I've heard of her before, yes. Couple of times.
Young viewers, close
Unfortunately.
your ears. She says, "My coochie pink, my booty hole brown." That's what she says in her song. And WWE is bringing this woman to their TV show. Brian, is this a good idea?
Um, it depends what they make out of it, man. In my opinion, I think that it's interesting because I don't think that she's like the greatest role models for kids, and obviously we know that a big
Not at
portion of
all.
WWE's audience is children. So it is a little interesting. I will say that I never thought that this would go down this type of collaboration. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm really not surprised though, bro. I mean, we've seen Travis Scott, we've seen Lil Wayne, we've seen them
Sexy Red is
collaborate with Meek
different.
Mill for WrestleMania. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen them collaborate with rappers so far this year. So, Sexy Red being part of NXT, where you may be able to draw a couple more people in there to watch the show, see what's up. I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing. The choice, though, is definitely a little surprising. But she seems to be in the whole WWE thing. I saw her tweeting about Trick Williams and NXT last week. So, hey, man, maybe it's just a genuine relationship where, she likes the show and this, that, and the other. But then again, it could have been something that was planned like, all right, bro, look like you're interested, and then we'll get her
No, I
on
don't
the
think so.
show.
Yeah, I
So,
was gonna say I'm happy about it because if I was like a big rapper and I liked wrestling and I kept shooting my shot like saying I want to go here, I want to go here, I would want them to bring me in. So she is genuinely a fan because she's been talking about wrestling all this time, just like Cardi B was, but we
yeah.
never saw Cardi B show up. She's kind of been pressing
She's
the
a real
issue,
one. There you
Sexy Red
go.
line. What'd you say, kiddo?
She's a real one. Come on. She
She's
talks
a
the
real
talks,
one.
walk the walk. All
Yeah.
right.
She's been pressing the line saying, I want to go to the WWE. Somebody, how do I get to the WWE? And they're actually bringing her in. We saw her in her car singing Shawn Michaels' theme song by herself. I mean, she was smoking some things, but you know what? Whatever. She's singing Shawn Michaels' theme song. Then she came back where she remixed Shawn Michaels' theme song. So Shawn Michael runs NXT. I'm sure he saw those videos and he was like, you know what? Let's bring her in. Now, her dream's coming true. I don't know how they're going to promote her because her music and even her most recent song is not WWE friendly at all. You can't even edit that thing to be WWE friendly. So this is interesting to me. Kiddo, are you familiar with Sexy Red at all?
I've seen her in Tia Wan's or like other comedians' podcasts. I guess I try to listen to them every once in a while. And I
Mm-hmm.
do remember now that we mention it, like she did talk about her being a fan of the WWE. And yeah, but I've never listened to any of her songs. And I had no idea that she presented herself the way she presents herself. Let's just put it that way. But one thing I want to be clear on, because I'm not too sure, I want to ask you this, Kenny, is or anybody else who knows, she's going to NXT not for 1 week, but like actual under a deal. She's gonna be a wrestler there. Is that
No.
what's going on?
No. I think this is
Okay.
the special appearance because she's got an album coming out on Friday. So they go on their promotional tour run. They may
Okay.
have told her she could have came a while ago, and she said, "I'm gonna wait till the album come out, and then I'll catch that final bit of fire before it releases." So it's kind of like an album rollout thing. She's going to NXT, but it's interesting they didn't put her on Raw or
Yeah,
SmackDown. I don't
that's
know if
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
she's a Shawn Michaels fan. Maybe that's why they're throwing her on NXT, but not 100% sure.
Well, you know how Shawn Michaels likes to do it up in NXT. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
see all the young ladies now coming through there. But
Hmm.
I guess that also shows Sexy Red is really like 100% real when it comes to being a wrestling fan. Because yeah, if she wasn't like, yeah, what is NXT? I've never heard of that before. I'm not gonna go there. Put me on the biggest show.
Yeah.
But it just shows, I guess, she really, really does like her wrestling. So no, that's cool. But yeah, it is interesting. Regardless of that, I think she should go to SmackDown or Raw. But hey, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. This
Yeah.
feels a little unprecedented, you know?
Yeah, it's unpredictable too because she is a very unpredictable person. She just says anything that comes to her mind. So I wonder if they give her like a hot microphone or if they keep her backstage. Omer, you're a big hip hop guy. Are you familiar with Sexy Red's work?
Hey, sexy. Come on,
Oh,
man.
Brian stole my line. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Sexy Red. I do want to touch on one thing, though. One thing. There's a lot of talk here about Sexy Red, her music, whether or not it's appropriate for the children of NXT to watch, whether or not it's she's setting a good example. I want y'all to remember this is a company that had Vince McMahon in charge
Oh,
after they
nice.
knew about all that stuff that was going on. All right, so look, this isn't necessarily a company that's worried about morals. All that being said, though, I don't think Sexy Red has done that much through her music to influence other. Although her politics, I ain't gonna talk about that because we don't talk about that on this show. But what I will say in all seriousness is I think that it's an opportunity to bring eyeballs to NXT right
Yeah.
before
Hey,
they
man.
start this move later this year. To CW. Like they want to make sure that they grab as many eyeballs on USA so that when they transfer over to the CW, they are able to optimize their viewership. That's really what this is all about. They're going to do it anyway.
Yep.
Like, and again, that's like more of the long-term vision here. If you're talking about like celebrity involvements with NXT and why they find that important, like that plays into it. Also, I think if we're being honest, the women's wrestling scene in NXT right now is unmatched. And
Unmatched.
if you do want to, I'm serious. I'm dead
No,
serious.
sir, yes.
Yes,
Seriously.
like as far as North American wrestling goes, untouchable. But if you want to build up a potential match down the line, with Sexy Red, get some eyeballs on her, get some eyeballs on the NXT product, and get some eyeballs on the fantastic women's wrestling that Shawn Michaels is developing down in NXT.
NXT.
I think this is a great way to do that. Look for more of this to happen too, by the way. I think TKO are going to try to maximize the amount of partnerships and collaborations they do
Ada
with
Parker
artists
brand.
they represent. I'm not sure if Ari Emanuel and Endeavor represent Sexy Red, but it might be the case. Just look for more celebrities to come in all of WWE.
Yes, and you said there, you know what? I think they're trying to make NXT like the young hot brand for a lot of people, and they are going to pull some eyes in by getting Sexy Red there because she's viral. And if you
Mm-hmm.
mash Sexy Red in there with the Lola Vice, with the Jada Parkers, all these women you got down there, you're going to catch some people's eyes. And who knows? Maybe they come back the next week. As long as the wrestling's good, they're telling those stories. I mean, you got Williams as your champion, so if you're looking to pull in the black audience, I think NXT where it is today, if you get them to watch that show, you might be able to keep them. You got Lash Legend here too, so they got a lot of talent down there. They got a lot of good-looking women, and the main champion's black. So again, you're pulling in black people with Sexy Red,
Hey,
so this could be a big
I,
win
I,
for
I
them.
was just gonna say that, bro. Like, not even to be funny or nothing. Just, bro, we obviously know, like, Sexy Red, she got the hood following her, bro. You get
Mm-hmm.
some more eyeballs on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is huge for NXT if it goes the way that I'm thinking. Even if they can just get a small percentage, bro. Because I'm not expecting
Yeah,
them to go out here and draw a million because of Sexy Red. I
yeah,
just think
no,
that the extra couple eyeballs to get on a product, hey man, it's a W. It's a developmental brand, not so much more developmental at this point, but I think they can use the eyeballs.
I think I'm
And
gonna make a quick prediction too, right before you go ahead and speak, Omer. But I think this is gonna be the first of her many appearances because wrestling is like a drug, and once you actually take it for once, because she's always been on the outside, once you get into it, you like it. And I don't think she has any sports background like Logan Paul did, but man, she might be doing a whole lot more segments at the very least,
yeah.
after
She
this
might hit
one.
her RKO. She might just hit her RKO. But go ahead, Omar, before we wrap this thing up.
I'm just gonna say, Brian talked about trying to make it the cool young brand. I think like that is the strategy here,
That's right.
because regardless of how many eyeballs are brought to this, when you bring celebrities in, when you bring influencers in, it's going to feel like a hot brand. It's going to feel like a must-watch thing because you have these, famous rappers or other artists like watching the show or being a part of the show. It feels bigger when they're a part of the show. That's why you have them at WrestleMania all the
Yeah.
time. And like if you go back and look at AEW when they got hot, part of the reason, not all of it, but part of the reason was they had Mike Tyson coming in. They had Snoop Dogg coming in. They had Shaq coming in. Like there were weeks upon weeks where they had big celebrity appearances. And I think with WWE, they're a part of their strategy here is just make it feel important. Doesn't matter if we increase ratings by 5% or 10%. It doesn't matter. If as long as the show feels important in the long run, it's going to be more profitable.